Thanks for handling the repairs. Must have been a tough month. This repair's covered under our existing contract, right?
Our contract ended last month, and we haven't done any repairs.
So now that the machine's finally fixed, we can resume production. President of the company, Mr. Kajima, left this huge project in my hands. I can't afford to mess things up. We took the job at a bargain price, so the profit margin's razor thin. But if this goes well, I should be in line for promotion. That's right. I gotta call Keiichi. He's the one that did the repair in the first place.
This is Keiichi from Tokimeki Corp.
This is Ikeda from Doki Doki Corp. Thanks for handling the repairs. Must have been a tough month. Anyways, the repair costs are covered, right?
Well...
You know, the annual maintenance. I mean, this should be part of it too, right?
I hate to say this, but... Our contract ended last month, and we haven't done any repairs.
Wait, what? Nobody said anything about that. I had no idea.
We informed your team that given our current workload, we couldn't keep to the same schedule. Your rep suggested switching to a spot contract instead, which actually worked out better for us, so we agreed.
As agreed in the contract, we also sent a formal cancellation notice. And originally, the annual contract only covers routine maintenance. A sudden month-long repair like this isn't included in that. We couldn't possibly handle that without any additional fees.
Then, who fixed it?
Perhaps you asked another company.
As Noah mentioned, it was outside our contract terms, so we didn't do the repair. Maybe you should check with your team. Nice speaking with you, but I've got to get back to work.
Wait, Keiichi didn't handle the maintenance? And I never heard anything about the contract ending. I'd better check with my team when I get back. We're a major player in the semiconductor business. If they really cancelled the contract, they'll regret it once their sales start to drop. If the contract really ended, Keiichi will probably come crawling back once their sales take a hit.
You called for me.
I wanted to ask you about the repairs on the patents. I called Tokimeki Corp, and they said they're not responsible for it. But we've got an annual contract. Why wouldn't they handle it?
Our contract with them ended last month, and since this was a one-off repair, it wasn't part of the annual contract. I did ask Tokimeki if they could help, but they were swamped and declined.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
I did. I sent you an email.
You should have told me in person.
I tried, but you said you had an important meeting, and told me just to email it.
Oh yeah. Now that you mentioned it, I remember. I was so wrapped up in the Kizima project, I totally forgot. So, who did we ask to fix it then? And what about future maintenance?
The emergency repair was handled by Waku Waku Corp. For regular maintenance, we'll probably go with either Tokimeki, Waku Waku, or Uki Uki on a spot contract basis. We've already requested quotes from all three. Also, we received an invoice for the repair from Waku Waku.
What? It's this expensive? Why didn't you check with me first?
I did check beforehand, and I even sent you the invoice. You told me you didn't have time and would leave it up to me. I know you're busy with your big project, but the rest of us are stretched thin too. We don't have time to keep rechecking stuff that's already approved.
The Kizia project was already hanging by a thread. I wanted to cover that by making extra profit here and seal my promotion. Fine. But make sure to avoid Tokimeki. They're by far the priciest.
Yes, but they're the only ones who can deliver that kind of quality and speed. That's why it costs a bit more, but it's worth it.
I get where you're coming from, but we're tight on both budget and manpower. I need to cut costs wherever I can. If orders drop, maybe they'll be open to renegotiating.
All right, please go ahead and take care of Waku Waku's invoice.
Now, how do I bring down these costs? With that breakdown earlier, we're already behind on Kitima Project's production schedule. So much to deal with.
Meanwhile, elsewhere... Alright, that should do it.
I'm sorry. I thought I could fix it myself.
Kenta, have you been pushing yourself too hard lately?
Huh?
Normally, you'd be able to handle this kind of issue easily. When people, or machines, push too hard for too long, they stop performing at their best. That's why I got worried. Thought maybe you've been overdoing it.
Oh, I was up late going over what you taught me, so I didn't get much sleep.
You really are a hard worker. But don't overdo it, okay?
Okay, thanks. I'll go pull the car around.
You're really good at reading people, Keiichi.
I've seen too many people and machines break down from being pushed too hard. I always dreamed of creating a workplace where that doesn't happen. My older colleagues used to laugh at me, saying it was all idealism.
It's way better to go after your ideals than just give up without even trying.
Thanks, Noah. Well, I'll admit, that mindset has brought our sales down.
But everyone's performance has improved, right? It's our first time doing this, so a dip in sales is totally expected. Let's keep building a workplace where no one has to burn themselves out.
No one's ever said that to me before. 1 month later.
Ikeda speaking. Seriously? Another breakdown? All right. I'll take care of it right away. I guess running things 24/7 is finally catching up to us. We're having way too many breakdowns. But this job's directly from Kitima, and we're on a tight schedule. We really can't afford any downtime. Come to think of it, when Tokimeki Corp handled our maintenance, we never had these issues. All right, let's call Tokimeki Corp. They must be struggling too now that we ended the contract. Right now, they'll likely be flexible on price and schedule.
Thanks for coming all this way.
No problem. What seems to be the issue?
Our patented equipment is down. I'd like to request repairs. All the details and conditions are listed here.
Wait a second.
Hold on. This schedule is way too tight. If we're expected to inspect and repair all the equipment in this time frame, we need to run shifts around the clock. And with this kind of budget? Let me take a look. Ikeda, this proposal is pretty unreasonable.
But we don't have any more budget to spare, and the deadline's fast approaching.
Then I'm sorry, but we'll have to decline.
What?
Under these terms, we can't deliver a repair we'd stand behind. Our company's policy is to do the best work possible for our clients. To do that, we need reasonable timelines and fair compensation. This timeline is just too unrealistic, and gathering the necessary parts and staff on such short notice would likely put us in the red. For the sake of our company and our team, we can't accept this contract as it is.
Still, sometimes you have to push the limits for the sake of the future. That's how I've always worked. Besides, there are other companies out there who will take the job even under these conditions. If your team can't handle it, we might have to start looking elsewhere for future orders.
That's unfortunate, but I understand. We've been doing our best to meet extra requests for a while now. But if that's what's led to this kind of proposal, then I'm afraid we have to draw the line. As their team lead, it's my job to look out for the people on the ground.
Keiichi?
Given how urgent this is, it might be best to go with a company that's able to take the job. I apologize for taking up your time. We'll be on our way now.
Wait, are you serious? I didn't expect it to end like this. I thought after last time, they'd be more flexible with the price.
Keiichi's already gone, though.
No big deal. There are tons of vendors out there. I'll have a replacement lined up for you in no time.
You were pretty firm back there.
I just want to look out for the people I work with. Maybe my priorities are a little different from management's, but still.
I think that's a great mindset. If your boss gets mad at you for it, I'll take the heat with you. And afterward, let's go grab a drink and blow off some steam.
No. I'd feel bad dragging you into it.
Well, it's not like we know anyone's going to get mad. If they don't, great. If they do, hey, at least we get to drink together.
You're so positive.
That's my best quality. All right, let's get back to the office.
Yeah, let's go. Feels like I've got less weight on my shoulders now. 1 month later.
Ikeda, we just got a message from Waku Waku Core asking about the unpaid invoice for last month's emergency repair.
Wait, what? Why didn't we catch that earlier?
I thought you'd already stamped it and passed it on to accounting. I was away on a long business trip and just got back 2 days ago.
Right, that's true. I've got so much piled up, I don't have time to go searching for this stuff. Mind asking them to reissue it?
Sure, I know you're busy, but honestly, this kind of thing has been happening a lot lately. It'd really help if you could be a bit more careful with the paperwork. And if you do come across the original, please just toss it out.
Yes, this is Ikeda. Kijima? A call from the CEO? Kijima himself? Yes, I'll check right away. Please hold for a moment. About the full shutdown for inspectors due to all the equipment issues. Which factory did we end up using for backup production?
Huh? Weren't you the one in charge of that?
No. I told you to take care of it, remember? I told you, if you were too busy during your trip, get someone else to handle it.
I thought you were going to ask someone else. There is no way I had time for that.
So what you're saying is, you still don't have a backup production plan? This is bad. Kishima's going to lose faith in me. And we'll miss the delivery deadline for his project.
Are you sure it's okay to keep Kojima waiting like this?
Right, of course. Thank you for waiting, Kishima. Due to a communication mix-up, the factory hasn't been finalized yet, but we're handling it right away. I was trying to impress you, but now I've blown it. Still, this isn't a fatal mistake. I can recover from this. I've got to find a temp factory first.
2 weeks later.
Phew! We finally found a temporary factory and started inspections without any trouble.
Ikeda, we've got a problem.
What is it?
We got a call from the inspection crew. They can't do maintenance on the patented equipment because we're out of parts.
What? Weren't you all supposed to take turns doing inventory checks? How did this happen?
Well, we used to have a more manageable schedule, but lately it's been packed and everyone's barely making it through their regular tasks. Since it hadn't been long since the last count, people thought skipping their turn once wouldn't matter and just let it slide.
What?
Everyone assumed things were fine since you had signed off on everything, but with all the recent breakdowns, our stock slowly ran out. And now, we're completely out of stock.
I was too busy trusting my team approving things without actually checking. I didn't think they'd all take the same shortcut. At this rate, we're going to miss the deadline. Order those parts right away.
Right?
Now then.
A few days later.
Kishima, it's Ikeda. You called for me? Wait. Keiji? Why are two people from Tokimeki Corp here?
Ikeda, what the hell is going on here?
Huh?
Despite us turning down your offer previously, you've been calling us non-stop these past few days, trying to push us into signing. It bothered me, so I checked with some companies in the same industry. Turns out you approached all of them with the same offer. That's why we decided to talk to Kijima directly.
Some companies hadn't even given you a final answer. Throwing the same job to others like that is just rude.
We are receiving complaints, not just from maintenance companies, but from part suppliers too. They've said that while they've put up with tough demands before, this time it's just too much.
Some even said they're reconsidering whether they want to keep doing business with us.
This is serious. But we didn't have time to wait for the decisions. Everyone was either rejecting the request or saying they'd consider it. So I had no choice but to ask the same companies again. Well, it was just like a price comparison.
Even though you'd already proposed a price? That's not all. Your recent work has been downright careless.
What?
I hear you've been requesting invoice reissues constantly. Did you ever find the original invoice?
No?
As I thought, you ended up attaching the original invoice to a completely different project and submitting it to accounting.
What?
You probably didn't notice it got mixed in, since things were such a mess. Thanks to that, our court management is a mess. We recorded the same expense twice, and the tax office flagged it. We're now under audit. Also, it seems like you've lost control of the work site. Due to repeated breakdowns and delays, some clients have started pulling out of their contracts.
No way! But that's because of equipment defects.
And yet, we never had any of these problems when Dokimeki Corp was in charge. I get that we couldn't lock in a yearly deal and had to go with spot contracts. Still, you're the one who chose not to go back to Tokimeki, right? This is the result. On top of that, your poor inventory control caused delays in maintenance. And now, even the major project I entrusted to you has been turned down.
What?
The client's furious. They're demanding a penalty for breach of contract. Thanks to the audit and the double accounting errors, we had to submit a heavily revised financial report, which shattered the bank's trust. They've now cut off our credit line. This company is on thin ice. You'll be taking accountability for this.
But I gave everything to this company. I worked myself to the bone for years.
If you keep pushing yourself too hard, something always gives eventually. And when that happens, things fall apart in an instant.
I held you in high regard. That's why I entrusted you with our top project. If it worked out, a promotion was on the table. It's true, I should have noticed you were overworking. That's on me too. But why didn't you come talk to me before it got to this point?
I truly respect your dedication to the company, Ikeda. But when you push beyond your limit for too long, even the things you could have handled start to fall apart. And I believe that's exactly what happened here.
It's painful for me too. I truly trusted you.
Kijima! Keiichi! I'm terribly sorry. I'll accept whatever decision you make.
Afterward, Ikeda was fired for misconduct. President Kijima was also held accountable and forced to step down as CEO. Both were sued for damages and ended up burdened with a massive amount of debt.
I thought capacity didn't matter. As long as I kept pushing through, everything would be fine. And now I'm left with debt.
Oh, by the way, Doki Doki Corp's patented machine finally broke down from all that overuse. Apparently, they'd been overusing it. You were right. If you keep pushing too hard, people and machines.
Neither people nor machines can run at 100% all the time. That's why saving some energy for when it really counts is how you protect yourself and the people who matter to you.
I see. Then I'd better make sure I don't push myself too far either, so I can protect you, Keiji.
Enjoyed the video?
Then smash that like button and subscribe.